feedback on the mic or your phone, just so you know. All right, if I can have your kind attention, or even unkind attention. Oh, I was going to figure out whose that was. There we go. All right, so. I ask you to look around the room. Just scan, look, scan, and look. Okay? What you're seeing is this place packed up. Packed up. They're here to hear somebody. And, you know, she packs this place before, but I'm thinking, oh, she did a good one this time. And we get the benefit. We had a number of brand new poets come up here. People, the second half, just wait till you see. So, Sally loves Saunders. She does therapy with the word. She does therapy with the word. She uses the word to heal people. I don't know anybody else who does that. I mean, we all as poets try to do things to help people and help ourselves and like that. But she goes out there and people say, here's your check. Thank you for helping out with the poems. She gets paid. So there's that. There's a professionalism. There's a quality. There's a freshness. She's 77. There's an innocence. Hello? You know, it's an amazing combination of effects that this person has within and without her. Books of poetry, meaning, life, eternity, you know, it's all there. And since you want to hear her, and not me, I'm going to have her come up here, but you have to give her a big round of applause. Let's fill this house with applause. Sally Love Saunders, come on up here. I'll get you started.
Yeah, on one. Happy birthday. 3, 2, 1.
Happy birthday to you.
Try the top.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sally. Happy birthday to you.
There we go. I tell you, we're going to kick it. As the young people say. Oh.
Sally, can you make sure you use the mic for the camera?
Oh, I think she's pulling our collective leg.
I want to start off by thanking everybody who's read their poetry. I enjoyed each one of you so much. And I want to, second of all, I want to tell you about a dream I had when I took a nap this afternoon. I dreamt that Sacred Grounds turned into the biggest jet plane you can imagine. And it took off, up, 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 and everyone's chair went back. And all of us, every single one of us, took a trip. And the trip was to your own reference, where you wanted to go when I read my poems. You follow me? So, thank you, Dan, for that wonderful introduction.
Thank you.
I think I should stop now while I'm ahead. Oh, it feels so good to be up here. I wish that Pompeii would explode right now and save all of this. All of this. This moment, forever. January 11th at Sacred Grounds. So ticking in my mind for so long. I'm feeling like a dolphin spinning up in the air, twirling. You, my friends, are on a cruise ship. Watching. We're all enjoying sunshine and splashing. This poem, oh, you know what? If you don't mind, I've got so many poems I want to read that just because of the sake of time, if we could save, if there's going to be any applause at the end, then I can get in more poems. This poem is written in whispers. I'm a still lake with greenery growing around, graced by beautiful bird poets at Sacred Grounds. who come and visit my lake. In our circle, we come in out of the rain and wind to the sacred ground, where we warm our hands and hearts, kindled by imagination. The warmth and glow, so steady and soft, keeps glowing when apart in our souls. Now the next group, I wrote when I was 1952, what would that be, 12? Yeah, these are teenage poems, and I'm going to just zip you through my life, and starting off 1952. An old man. Some said that his home was built with him, as he seemed to be always rocking and puffing at his pipe. Each wrinkle may be a care, each smile could cover them. Age had taught him that life is good. The weather comes and goes, so do friends, so enjoyed himself, and would rock with me if I could sit still long enough. The moon. 13 when I wrote this. The moon weaves a spider's web from grass to grass. The moon lavishes velvet over the valley. The moon on the ocean rolls like oil on water. One can say a word and it is gone, but a word on mist can cling and haunt the area like the moon. Non-involvement. She goes to the zoo, looks at the animals, but does not feed them. She goes to the art museum, sees the statues, but doesn't feel them. She went to the beach, but never allowed the salt to sting her. She shook his hand, but never held it. On marriage. Oh, I'm past teenage now. Sometimes the gap is so wide, I think in terms of the Grand Canyon, where the deep bottomless distances are wide from side to side. Sometimes we're one skin and one frame. My blood runs in your veins, and your blood runs in mine. The tide comes in and the tide goes out. Yes, the pulse of life is both low and high. Old Red. I remember Red, the old farm horse, and his irritations in summer. When those big black horseflies would fly to him, his whole skin shivering up tight, and his sharp tail angrily would swat at them hard. The flies would try again, only again to cause his skin to reject. And so with you. When I expressed my feelings, I could feel your being cringing up and feeling most uncomfortable, like Old Red with the flies in the heat of the summer. Now I'm back to early. This is I'm in my 20s here. A poem. I've told this story here before. You just have to bear with me. That's what happens when you see a lot of me, I guess. I went to this boarding school, and I was always having to be a contraband poet, and I put my poems in shoe boxes. And then I would take the back of the boards in the closet out and sneak in the back and write my poetry at night. And sometimes I had to write it by moonlight. I mean, there just wasn't any time or space for poetry. And now it's interesting because my friends say to me, "Do you still keep your poems in shoe boxes?" And I go, "No, I don't have to keep them in shoe boxes anymore. I can put them on the internet." A poem. A poem forms itself out of gray clouds of boredom and melancholy. A poet should delight in gloom, for it is then that the children of his soul are born. Disappointed, 1961. My trust carried me on the wave that weaved in and out. Then the wave dropped me into the deep sea. The water that rushed and choked, grabbing for seaweed, it was slimy. Exhausted, I staggered up the empty shore to rest. Perhaps tomorrow I'll ride another wave that will be fun, and there will be the sun and the clouds, and then I'll be dumped into a pile of waves. Why not just stay on the beach and be satisfied with the far-off cry of the gulls? This is still a 64, I was about 24. The short, thin wire of long distance cannot carry my love to you when there are other conversations static and the price tag all present. For how can love breathe deeply as in a crowded bazaar, suffocating? And now I sit without a wire between us. Strongly my heart pulses, strongly with love for you. Wider, stronger, and clearer than any wire could carry. This is one of my all-time favorites. I hope you like it. Communication. 2 rows of single flashlights, their rays crossing. 2 rows of flashlights, their rays meeting and blending into single rays. Behind. The fire leaves logs behind into ashes. Twilight leaves the day behind into dusk. You leave me behind into a tear. Rose petal. I'd like to slide down a rose petal on my back and crouch on the bottom and then look up. I'd like to wrap the petal all around me until I am asleep. The moon grows. The moon is a silent guest who sits alone, watches, and glows. The moon grows fast like a child until full grown and wrinkled, it passes on. You know, last night a prince came, and there have been other princes in my life. As a little girl, I was taught there'd be one prince, and he would come and carry me off on his horse. But now I'm a big girl, and I realize there are many princes. Some rides long, some short, many royal balls, and many times to stand on my toes. The trick is to get off their horse, Volkswagen, before they turn into a frog, and I'm left sitting in the mud. My mother is an old sweater. Many big holes where we've come apart, and I can't get the holes together. Raveled communication, closely knitted times, comfortable, scratchy, mine. Waiting for 1:30, the clock with lizard feet and long toenails crawl across this sand face of time, inching. Time has a way of stretching out when it's a fun thing waiting for, stretching out like a long taffy being pulled. If I turn my back on time, it will spin faster. So I turn my back, but keep peeping over my shoulder. Poetry, my best friend. I can pull you up around my ears and shield out the world. You cozy my life, giving me fireplace when I need it. Poetry, my center. Underpinnings. My life's so full of stitches holding together. People in my life, connecting me, grounding me. Endless run of stitches like a sewing machine. I stitch, 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 pin, and more stitch. Am I making a quilt with a pattern, a life design? Or will I be in a perpetual state of being pinned together? Soon it will be Monday, and the day will be a relay race of points to cover. My love is here but asleep. He will get up with the light of the new day, and the day will gather speed, stops to make, lists to be attended to. All is quiet now. My mind can graze. I wish I could share this peace with him, and we could graze like two pastoral animals on sloping hills. At 6 a.m., the dark sky blankets me in cozy quiet. My mind hums as a far-off foghorn yodels. Solitude, my companion. I'm making friends with the reality it's the dark time of the year. Sunlight has to be sought after. Here at 6 a.m., I'm free to choose and read what I choose. Then I remember I must get stamps. Today, Monday. This early morning calm will not roll on. It will change to buying stamps and other such necessities. Will eat at my fiver until the day is a bits and pieces of to-dos. But for now, there's no stamps to buy, no place to go, but just enjoy the peace. Tell me, am I reading too fast?
No, perfect.
Because I'm so excited, I'm afraid I might be reading too fast. I'm an umbrella, shut down, folded up in the corner, until you come and press my button, and then I flower wide and oh so full, until you close me down again. To give birth to a poem, the labor pains, the sweating, and the actual birth. To give birth to a poem, to give birth to myself, all over again. Poems are my babies, they grow from me. I tend to them, I don't know if they'll grow up straight and strong or not. First time I see them on paper, like a nurse bringing to the new mother in the delivery room. In a book, their graduation day. It's 4 a.m. The very full moon is leading the whole world in spirituals. I can hear outside my window. Full moon, you're leading us in song. Bug eyes, oh yes, I hear. Now there is harsh silence, like only at Symphony Hall, before the music begins. You are here listening, enjoying divine spiritual music. The moon in its full bloom, perfect state, like a peacock with feathers full. This is called blind date. You're using me as a dartboard, throwing your talk at me to see patterns of dart reflected back at you. All I am is pinned to the wall, flat as wood. Ouch, you're hurting me as you pass darts of your talk all about you and me. Ouch. All I can hear is the ping of darts. Ping, 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 ping. So much it is deafening. Let me out of this table, out to fresh air, out to moving once more. One of the topics I had, I think it was at the Cultural Integration Fellowship, one of our poetry writing gatherings, was the silliest thing you've ever done. And I kept my answer to the silliest thing I've ever done. It was in an auditorium at the University of California Medical School. I was a featured poet to give a talk on the healing power of poetry. The students came in white coats, doctors with stethoscopes around their necks. A dear friend with a silk scarf positioned in his pocket. The chairs all lined up. I had prepared and re-prepared. Business briefcase by my side. Something wasn't right. I did not know what. Jim kept pointing to my feet. Why, I didn't know. Then I realized I should look at my feet, which I did. And lo and behold, toilet paper was attached to my heel. So I said, now the ice is broken, and ripped it off. Sometimes I think about the toilet paper talk and wonder if I should again plant a long piece of toilet paper on my heel. Hot chocolate. Oh, this is good. This is all planned with Teddy. I'd like to swim in hot chocolate and carry marshmallows on my head. Dive deep and become covered with hot chocolate. And then I'd lick my hands like a cat licking its paws. Knowing you was a dance in and out of shadows. Sometimes you danced in sunlight, other times you disappeared into darkness. I watched you dance for many years with many difficult backdrops. Now the curtain is down. Stunned, I sit in the gallery, unable to get up and move away. Knowing you was a dance in and out of shadows. Sometimes you danced in sunlight, other times you disappeared into darkness. There is a senior circus. I think you know what I mean. Those seniors who dazzle us with amazing acts like going to Rome off the surgery table and running marathons in their 70s. and working with sharp minds into their 80s. Well, there is a senior circus, and I'm sure you know what I mean. But I am an old, lazy, southern dog, swatting flies in the shade. I cannot dazzle you with any senior circus act. All I can do is smile. Remembering with a soft smile, flashlight under sheets, writing poetry when parents thought I was asleep. Remember grabbing for a napkin to catch a poem, remembering the smile on a gray-haired migrant laborer when the poem he wrote was publicized in a local newspaper and we put it on the cinder block wall of his home. Remembering with a smile making poetry with Navajo children in classroom in Navajo land. Remembering with warmth the moon outside my window, winking at me, calling me a poem. Remembering coming to sacred grounds when I first came to San Francisco and read my poems and made friends with Teddy Gilbert and Red Stewart. How about if we were all airplane flyers, writing words in the skies, writing poems, poetic thoughts? We would waltz by each other and bow our hats. What would you write? What would you write? When I was a child and people would ask me what I wanted to do when I grew up, I said a poet. Grown up was high heels and stockings. A poet, they'd say. Why a poet? I'd bounce back with, because I love poetry, it's fun. So now I'm a grown-up toddler. And when people ask me, what did you do in your life? I said a poet. At 77, I say it's been fun, a best friend. How does this poem end? It has no end yet, because I'm still writing poetry. Am I a poet or just a belching bullfrog? Do my arms reach high enough, or am I sitting on my hands? Excuse me for writing so much. You see, I can't help it. The petticoat of my being showing. I try and tuck it up, but it tumbles down, showing the white and the lace. Writing in me comes in series. I don't just sneeze once and stop. I sneeze one on top of another in a seemingly endless way. You have dissolved my cork, and bubbling out comes foam, and more foam, and more foam. As a toddler, I held Red Dolly's arm whenever I went. Then it was the hand of my 16-year-old boyfriend. Now I'm alone and divorced, a pen I hold for comfort. I wish I was a spider, able to spin a web out of my being, my inner being. I'd step back and watch my insides glisten in the sunlight. A Navajo weaving a rug, an artist making a mosaic, balanced pattern. How I wish I could make a balanced art piece out of my insides. Hello, paper. I've come to visit with you. Nothing in particular to repeat or ask. I just want to be with you, to enjoy your receptiveness, quiet, and space. The lines receiving me, space to be. As a piece of paper, all to myself. You don't criticize or bite me. Your neutrality beckons me. How am I doing, Dan?
You should do us a nice closer. That's I think people want to ask.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Well, what I'd like to say is I have an email list which David has here, and if any of you are not on it, please be on it. I'm going to be doing 2 wonderful festivals of poetry, and I'd love to have you all come. And it's going to be, I wrote the dates down, July 9th and October 22nd at the Cultural Integration Fellowship, which is 2650 Fulton, and that's at 3rd and Fulton. And we're very lucky to have the director, Rita, do you want to stand up so they can all meet you? Here, from the Cultural Integration. And she hosts these, oh, excuse me, what did you say?
I'm inviting everyone to come.
Oh,
26th to
good, good,
54th
good, good,
Street.
good, good. Yeah, they're really, Dan comes, and a lot of people here come, and so, y'all come now. And David has emailed us if you're not on it. And, now
What
how much
happens
time
at
I
the,
got?
what will happen at that fellowship?
What you do, I'm glad you asked, people bring poems that they like to share,
I see.
and then we have wonderful refreshments. And it's just a very happy time because people bring poems that they like.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a workshop like you led last year?
No, we're doing festivals.
It's like an open mic. It's
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah, very similar to this, yeah.
People sign up to read their poem.
Sure.
Can you give the dates again?
Yeah, sure. But be sure to get all my email, and if you don't have computer access, write down your snail mail address.
So the other date is,
July 9th and October 22nd, they're both Sundays.
Yeah, at 11.
11 o'clock.
AM.
A.M.,
Uh-huh.
11.
Well, you know,